On a beautiful Saturday night in Atlanta, it's time for Braves baseball. Tonight from Turner Field, it's game 2 of our 3-game set between the Braves and the Houston Astros. All year long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. And happy Saturday night, friends, with Tom Glavine and Joe Simpson. Chip Carey back here at Turner Field, where the Braves have a marvelous homestand working. They are 7-1 so far. And, fellas, a much-anticipated debut by one of the newest members of the Braves. Paul Maholm makes the start tonight.
Yeah, they'll turn the streak over to the newest of the Atlanta Braves pitchers. Paul Maholm is 30 years old, and he knows how to pitch, and he is really on fire. This season he's 9-6, but check him out over his last 7 games. 5-0. He's not allowed more than 1 run in any of those 7 starts. He's been outstanding. Plus, he's pitched real well here at Turner Field. The Braves know all about Paul Maholm. He's been very tough against them, including this year when he shut him out for 7 innings at Wrigley Field.
And as far as Paul Maholm, what to expect out of him, kind of your typical left-handed pitcher. He's a control pitcher, throws all of his pitches at pretty much any time. Fastball, sinker, slider, changeup, curveball. His job or his philosophy is to try to use both sides of the plate and try and change speeds as much as he can. As Warren Spahn used to say, hitting is timing and pitching is upsetting that timing. That's what Paul Maholm's game plan is all about.
Joe, I think Tom read his own scouting report. Sounds a lot like his pitching repertoire in what will be a Hall of Fame career for Tom Glavine, our partner tonight. Speaking of future Hall of Famers, Chipper Jones. His last year as a member of the Braves, he's off to a rip-roaring start, and he's done some damage against the Stros. We'll talk about that right after this. Set for Game 3 of the Braves-Astros series tonight here at Turner Field. Chip, Joe, and Tom back upstairs in the broadcast booth where, as we all know, just a few short years ago, Tommy, this was one of the best rivalries in baseball. The Braves and Astros met so many times in playoff competition. Not surprisingly, Chipper Jones played a very large part for this Atlanta ball club.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he certainly has over the years, and no surprise, he's had a heck of a career against the Houston Astros. In 67 games, or his last 67 games, he's hitting .351, current 9-game hitting streak against Houston, in which he's hitting .417. And overall, in 127 career games, against the Astros, he's hitting .321. And no surprise, Joe, it was these very same Astros that he got his season started up with this year.
Remember, he was on the disabled list coming off out of spring training, and his first game was in Houston in front of his folks. Went deep in his very first game, had a couple of hits, but didn't stop there. Last night, a big 2-run double that got the Braves on the board and helped pace them to that 4-1 win last night. So Houston has always been a team that Chipper Jones liked to do some kicking Astros type thing.
I like the segue. We'll leave it at that. We're getting ready for baseball on a beautiful night in Atlanta. Game 2 of our series. Braves have a rip-roaring homestand working. They'll try to make it 8-1 with a win tonight. Game 2's lineups and first pitch coming up right after this. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. After a rainy afternoon for much of the day in Metro Atlanta, it's turned out to be arguably, fellas, the most comfortable night for baseball in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. It's a beautiful night for Paul Mulholland to make his debut for Atlanta, and this is who he'll face, the Houston Astros, who are 35-72 for the season. Jose Altuve leads off. Marwin Gonzalez and Ben Francisco follow him in order. Brett Wallace is their cleanup man. Justin Maxwell, former National, is in center field. Matt Downs at third. Chris Snyder, the catcher, and Lucas Harrell having a good year for an Astros team that's way under 500.
And they'll be facing the new left-hander, Paul Mulholland, making his 21st start on the year. You see there he's 9-6 on the year. 12-6 in his career against the Astros, and as we talked about in the open, been very hot lately. His last 7 starts 5-0, and you can really take it back to earlier in the year as well. You take his first 2 starts out of the equation, which were really ugly. His last 18 starts, 9-4 with just over a 3 ERA, so he's been throwing the ball well.
Good sized guy too, 6'2", 220, 30 years old, lives now in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, out of Mississippi State. His 4 keys to success tonight: make yourself at home, because I think he might be here a while. Braves also have an option on him for next year. And Paul Mulholland pitching great baseball, so his first game here at Turner Field, and he's very Tim Hudson-like. As Tom explained during our opening comments, he works both sides of the plate, changes speeds beautifully, and has a good curveball. And when he's on, you know right away. When he's not, you also know right away.
And here's the defense that will work behind Mulholland tonight. Prado Bourne and Jason Hayward left to right in the outfield. Braves defense up the middle has been good with Giannis and Ugla. Chipper and Freddie Freeman are the cornermen, and Brian McCann works behind the plates. Jim Reynolds has the plate. He'll call balls and strikes tonight. James Hoy is at first. Jim Joyce, the umpire, at second. Mike DeMiro, the umpire, at third. As we said, a very comfortable night. Gentle breeze blowing from right to left. Only 84 degrees. And the forecast is for mostly cloudy skies, but very comfortable weather expected tonight and again here tomorrow afternoon. And Paul Maholm's first pitch as a Brave is a called strike. Jose Altuve is the pint-sized second baseman for the Astros, but he is having a good year. A .300 average, 5 homers, 29 knocked in. He's bringing a 7-game hit streak into tonight's play.
Maholm pitched against the Astros a little over a month ago in Chicago and came within 2 outs of a 4-hit complete game shutout. He did work 8 1/3, walked only 1, struck out 6 in a 4-0 win. One of the things he does that has always grabbed my attention, Tom, is when he starts, after he kicks and steps, it's like he cuts his stride off real short, which makes him come, I guess, over the top and help him keep the ball down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's not one set way to do things, as we talk about, both pitching and hitting. But yeah, he gets to that point, collects himself, and then gets things going towards home plate in a hurry. And like I say, really gets on top of that ball, and that's where he gets his movement from.
There's that 7-game streak for Altuve. And that's upstairs to even the count. One area, too, where Houston has struggled, and there are a lot of them this season, make no doubt about that. They have not done good work against left-handed pitching as a team. Brad Mills Ball Club hitting just .207 against southpaws this season. But Altuve has not been part of that problem. He's at .351 this year against lefties. Keep an eye on this kid.
So he's the only thing keeping him above the Mendoza line against left-handers.
And he loses Altuve, a leadoff walk. Marwin Gonzalez is the Houston shortstop. He was 0 for 4 last night. Switch hitter, a much weaker hitter from the right side as far as the average concerned. .261 overall, 179 as a righty. Backhand play, Chipper. Ugla the turn. Double play.
This was a really sweet turn by Chipper because he threw the ball from where he fielded it. He didn't have to stand up and get on top of it, and made a perfect feed to Ugla. Nicely done.
And Ben Francisco bats with the bases empty. He's playing right field tonight. And 0-2.
as you see, that's part of Paul Mahalam's success. He's always one of those guys who gets a lot of ground balls. He's among the league leaders every year in fewest home runs allowed. Tough to elevate anything on him.
Yeah, he does a really good job of being down on the bottom portion of the strike zone. When he does throw a ball high, for the most part, it's with a purpose to where it's up out of the zone where the hitter's either going to chase it or they can't do anything with it.
A couple other notes from Mahalam. When we saw him with the Cubs on July 4th, he pitched in this ballpark. Since his rookie season, Paul Mahalam has the 4th worst run support per 9 innings of any starter in baseball. And he's never had a winning season in the major leagues with a minimum of 7 starts. Remember, that's a product of some of the clubs he was pitching for, the Cubs and the Pirates. He's got a chance to have a winning year this year, and he's off to a good start with a scoreless top of the 1st inning. He looks for some run support from the Braves, who start play tonight 2 games behind the Washington Nationals. Bourne, Prado, and Hayward 1, 2, and 3. Chipper Jones and Freddie Freeman swinging hot bats. McCann, Ugla, Janisch, and Mahalam hits 9th.
He'll be facing right-hander Lucas Harrell. Making his 22nd start on the year, 8-7, 4.03, and a ground ball machine when he's got things going.
He's been a real find for them after they got him on waivers last July from the White Sox, July of 2011. Combined last year in AAA for the White Sox, and then after he joined the Astros, AAA at their franchise in Oklahoma City, he went 12-5 combined. And yet the White Sox let him go.
I already like him because he likes to go fast.
Say he pitches a lot like his former teammate Mark Burley. Get it and go back to work. There's a fly ball to right center. Francisco will stagger and make the play.
Wow. Almost a big mistake there. Let's take a look at the Ford keys for Lucas Harrell. One might be better communication in the outfield, but really it's shining light. They've had such a miserable year, but he is a shining light with an 8-7 record on a team that has a miserable record. He's got a 4-pitch assortment. He's supposed to be kind of a free spirit and a go-get-'em type attitude. Our first look at him, and I'm anxious to see this guy pitch since he's having such a good year.
Well, Harrell this year by himself has accounted for almost 23% of Houston's wins. They've won 35 as a club. He's won 8. highest this season is the Mets' R.A. Dickey, who's won 14 of the Mets' 52 games. That's roughly 27% of the total New York victories. And there's one of those ground balls. Downs at third. And Wallace handles at first base for the second out. And that win percentage list is our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard.
Pretty good names there. Like I say, 20 for Lucas Harrell, almost 23% of Houston's wins, and it's pretty impressive for a kid that's in his first full year in the major leagues and still trying to get his feet on the ground.
Number 1 and number 3 are most impressive to me because Dickey and Jared Weaver are on good teams, and they've got a large percentage of wins on good teams.
Way outside to Jason Hayward. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a shot in the right center field. That's going to get down. Nice job by Maxwell to cut it off. Jason's going to try for 2, and he'll slide in safely with a double.
Braves had 6 hits last night, and 5 of them were doubles. So why not start off with your first hit, another extra base hit?
Initially, I didn't think he was going to cut that ball off, and really didn't matter to Jason. He had his eye on a double from the minute he got out of the batter's box.
Well, how about a 2-out hit from Chipper? He's knocked in 47 men. One ball, no strikes.
As we are now in August and coming down the home stretch for Chipper's career, you're beginning to see a lot of flash bulbs go off on every at bat here at Turner Field.
Snyder with the stop, and Harrell has missed with 3 in a row to Chipper Jones. Two on, 2 out. This plays right into Freddie Freeman's hands, fellas, for here he is again, a chance to drive in some runs with 2 down. Something he's done an awful lot this year.
Yeah, kind of the double-edged sword. You don't want to. He obviously pitched carefully to Chipper and didn't care that he walked him with a base open, and it being Chipper Jones and all. But like I say, the downside of that is the guy on deck with a little less name recognition has done really well in these situations for the Braves.
31 2-out RBIs. That's the 4th highest total in baseball. Freddie's knocked in 65 in total this year.
This guy's got some good sinking action though on that 93 fastball. Good for Freddie to lay off that pitch. Got to make him bring it up a little bit.
That one was up but off the plate. And all of a sudden Harrell can't find the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes.
His last start came against Pittsburgh on the 29th of July, and he beat them 9-5. Obviously got a lot of runs to work with. He only pitched into the 6th inning, 5 2/3, but just gave up 2 runs. There's the line. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, but it took him a lot of pitches. pushed him over the 500 mark at 8-7.
Line toward left. Leaping grab by Martinez. That ball was rising.
How about that outfield play for the Astros this inning?
Egads. Braves strand 2 in the first, but we remain scoreless. HOU at Park by Hyundai, by the Home Depot, and by Georgia Power. Beautiful night in Atlanta, and we finished our first inning of Game 2 of the series. The Astros back up there against Paul Maholm. And the inning starts with Brett Wallace, then Maxwell, then Martinez. So Paul got that first inning with a new team out of the way, and off we go.
Smooth sailing.
Swing and a miss by Brett Wallace, hitting .320 for the year. 16 hits for the season, 4 of them, though, home runs. Joe, all we need on this guy's back is a 4 in front of that 7, and we'd be seeing someone very familiar.
It's funny, I was just thinking the same thing in a way, that he does have a 7 on there, so that almost qualifies.
I'll let him use it for a little while.
Two balls, 2 strikes. There's his second strikeout as a Brave. He gets Wallace swinging to start the second inning.
It's that little sinker down in the zone, outside corner, and he's been hitting that one pretty well so far here early on in the game. If he's consistently on that spot, it's going to be a long night for the Astros.
I would say that's where he's been locked in for the last 7 starts.
And while he was pitching for the Cubs and playing in the Central Division, you think, okay, maybe he's going to beat Houston a couple of times. Well, yeah, I mean, he got a win against them, but in this run of 5-0, he beat the Braves, he beat the Pirates, and he beat Arizona. 3 clubs that have playoff hopes. Again, pitching for a Cubs team that's 43-61.
9 walks, and 4 of those were in one start.
There's a looping line drive by Maxwell into left. That's the first Houston hit. Georgia Power customers can take advantage of Georgia Power's refrigerator recycling program with free pickup for your second working refrigerator or freezer. To schedule your free refrigerator pickup or to learn if you qualify, go to georgiapower.com/refrigerator. Left fielder J.D. Martinez bats. 1 for 4 and had an RBI last night. Oh, was Tim Hudson good in game 1?
I would have to say yes, he was very good.
Especially after weathering the storm in the first inning, getting through that.
His 100th win as a Brave and his 11th victory this season. Fly ball center field. Hunt to Bourne. Sets up and makes the grab. No advance by Maxwell. 2 outs. Matt Downs is the Houston third baseman and hitting .204 for the season. Runner goes, got a good jump. The throw to second will be late. And Maxwell steals his third base of the campaign and is in scoring position with 2 outs.
Went on his first move, guessed right. Got some long strides, and that good jump outran anything Brian McCann could have done about it.
High fly ball to left. Back goes Martin, and a couple of steps shy of the fence, hauls it in, and that retires the side. Downs gave it a ride, but the park big enough to hold it, and we remain scoreless in the second. Joe, Tom, and Chip with you for Game 2 of the Braves and Astros series. Atlanta having a terrific homestand. The Braves have won 7 of the first 8 games. Swept the Phillies. Took 3 out of 4 from Miami. Won last night. Trying to polish off Houston before we hit the road starting Monday night. One ball, one strike to Braves catcher Brian McCann.
And this is an unusual defensive deployment for Brian. Not that having Altuve playing Rover out in shallow right field is anything new. Look how deep he is. But the fact that they don't have Gonzalez playing over in the hole.
Harrell strikes out McCann with a fastball. His first strikeout of the game. 1 out. Base is clear for Dan Uggla, who had an RBI double last night, part of his 1-for-4 game. Dan's last 3 hits have all been RBI hits. So he's up to 52 for the year.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but he's hitting 3 straight.
I saw it right here in the notes.
Yeah. That started August 1.
Inside ball 3. 3-1 from Harrell. Paul Janisch is on deck. Paul Mahalam will follow. And now a 3-2 pitch. First to new baseball. Marlins are in Washington tonight again, and in early action they lead the Nationals 2-1 in the 3rd inning. That's Mark Burley pitching for Miami tonight. Jordan Zimmerman for the Nationals. Braves are 2 back at the start of tonight's play. I haven't seen the Nationals lineup, but I'm guessing Kurt Suzuki would be playing for Washington, acquired yesterday. Miami without Emilio Bonifacio. He hurt his thumb again, and it might require surgery. And Uggla takes the called 3rd strike.
That looked a little high to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's not the. You don't typically call fastballs up there, but yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake that he got away with. He was trying to sweep that to the outside corner, but started it at Uggla and ended up on the inside corner.
This guy's got a good arm, man. It's still amazing to me that the White Sox would just let this guy go for nothing. Waved him.
And he's not throwing every pitch 94. He's backing off throwing a 92. Then he'll go back to 94, back to 92.
Janisch drives one to right. And that's playable for Francisco. And Atlanta's retired in order. And we move to the 3rd inning. Still no score. trivia time. And our trivia question sponsored by our friends at AT&T Uverse. Michael Bourne, 61 steals in 2009, ranked third all-time in Houston history. Who holds the Astros record for most steals in a single season?
Joe Morgan started with them, you know.
Yep. For some reason, the name Enos Cabell popped into my head, but I don't think that's right. Joe Morgan might be the answer. Everybody remembers him with the Reds. So Chris Snyder leads off the third inning for Houston. He's their catcher, hitting .182.
Cesar Cedeno.
Slow roller, and that's foul. How about Craig Biggio? Remember, he was a catcher and had a lot of speed.
I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but there was a couple center fielders that played there during my playing days that I can't.
Steve Finley.
Finley, but I don't think he was running as much then.
How about Luis Gonzalez? In his early days? Probably not.
There was a shortstop that spent some time with the Braves in his career. Sonny Jackson, way back, broke in with Houston.
One ball, two strikes. Well, you know the answer is just one media guide away.
Yes, it is.
That, as we know, would constitute cheating. We won't do that. As Paul back to work. And just missed the corner.
Is it cheating if we just go to the section where they have the like opening day lineups from each year just so you can get name references? Is that cheating?
I don't want to speak for Gretchen, but I think the answer is probably pretty much.
Oh, she just chimed in and said yes. I was going to say no.
Yeah, but we grade on a curve. She doesn't. I hope you're right with Joe Moore. I mean, that was just without even any hesitation. Bang, Joe Morgan. That just sounds like the right answer. Full count to Snyder. Were they the Colt 45s back then, or were they the Astros when
Probably
Joe played?
No, he was Astros.
He was an Astro?
Mm-hmm.
And Snyder is struck out looking. He thought it might be low.
Good pitch.
Jim Reynolds has got a big zone tonight. Saw a high strike called on Dan Uggla.
I like it. Call strikes. And another one to Lucas Harrell, the pitcher. 8 hits in 40 at bats.
Lucas is from a real good baseball town, Springfield, Missouri. Good youth programs. Produce a lot of good high school players, college players.
And that pitch was missed. 4 strikeouts. Catch Chipper playing in some of his final games with the Chipper Jones 4-game plan. It includes tickets to 4 Friday games and a set of 4 Chipper Jones commemorative prints. And those are presented by SunTrust. Packages start at $71, so visit Braves.com/Chipper or call 404-577-9100.
Mahalam's strikeout high for the season is 7. He's done it twice. Once in 6 innings against Detroit. Got a no decision in that game, won it 4-3. And 2 starts ago, 7 strikeouts in 8 innings at Pittsburgh in a 5-1 win.
(2-0) to Altuve, who fell behind early in the count but drew a leadoff walk. He was erased on a nifty double play in the Houston first. Altuve has drawn both walks in the game, and here's Marwin Gonzalez. Is it tough throwing a strike to a guy that's 5'7", Tommy? I mean, it sounds like a silly question, but he's the smallest guy on the field.
Well, I mean, theoretically he's got a smaller strike zone, so there's less to attack, and he can hit. So you don't want to just throw it down the middle.
He's a threat to steal. He's sitting on 19 stolen bases, and he might be picked off. Freeman's throw will get him. Giannis with a nice pick and tag. And Mahalam's out of trouble in the 3rd inning. He'll lead things off for the Braves as Atlanta looks to score the game's first run when we return. Is brought to you in part by McDonald's, by the Georgia Lottery, by AT&T Uverse, and by Ram Trucks. Braves up for the bottom of the 3rd inning, still no score, each team with 1 hit. And it's Paul Mahalam leading things off. Paul 3 for 39 at the plate. Mentioned earlier that Paul has not had a winning Major League season with a minimum of 7 starts. Gretchen Caney did some math for us. The clubs that Paul Mahalam has pitched for in his big league career are a combined 200 games under 500. Think about that.
Tough to get many wins
yeah.
in that atmosphere.
And that's why Paul in a Braves uniform, Tommy, in this park with this offense and this defense, frankly, behind him, you figure he's got a chance to continue what's been a winning season in 2012.
Well, I can promise you, if he continues to keep pitching the way he has in his last 7 starts, he's going to win a bunch of games.
It's like Lucas Harrell's got a little something on his mind tonight, too, though. Good off-speed pitch there.
Harrell again, 8-7 for a club that's 35-72. As we told you, that's the 6th highest percentage of a team's wins in Major League Baseball this year. The all-time highest percentage was Steve Carlton in 1972 with the Phillies. He won 27 games for a club that won 59 all year.
I don't know if that'll ever be topped.
When I saw that, I said to Chip, I said, that's one of those that won't be touched.
That's a little low. The other names on that list dating back to 1900. Ed Walsh in 1908 won 40 of his team's 88. Jack Chesbro for the 1904 Yankees won 41 of 92 games. Noodles Hahn 22 of 52, and of course Cy Young 33 of 79. At third, Downs will take care of Michael Bourne, and that's out number 2.
They say Noodles Hahn could pitch just about every day.
And Martin Prado will be the Atlanta hitter and the subject of our SunTrust solid performance.
The Braves as a team 17-13 against the Central. But Martin providing a lot of the offense for Atlanta in those games.
Line drive into center. That's the second Braves hit. Greg Walker has said a lot, fellas, about this Braves offense. Facing sinker ballers, make them get the ball up. Harrell finally did on that pitch.
Greg's done a great job with the hitters all year long. He's really put a game plan in everybody's head, you know, with whoever's pitching that day. Plan of attack for your first at bat.
Jason Hayward doubled his first time up, and it was a laser. Slow roller out toward Altuve at second. And that will retire the side. We head to the 4th inning. Good pitching tonight at Turner Field, and we have no score. It's the fourth inning, and we have no score. Harrell and Mahalam pitching a beautiful game today, and it's a quick turnaround. A 1:35 start tomorrow as we wrap up the series and the homestand. And here are tomorrow afternoon's Chevron starting pitchers.
Well, the good thing is the Braves starting pitcher, Chris Medlin's on a real good roll and won his first start. The bad news for Houston is that Bud Norris is not on one of those types of streaks. He's lost like 7 in a row. And I'll verify that in 1 second.
Paul Mahalam will start with Marwin Gonzalez.
Yes.
Quick strike one.
That is correct. He's lost 7 in a row. Mahalam's fastball, and that was a changeup, but his fastball's good enough that if you're thinking sinker and looking away and trying to cover that outside corner, you're going to get your bat sawed off, because he can cut the ball in on you, run it in on you, or in on your shoe tops.
Well, I think he's trying to get the hitters to think away, and then pick his spots where either locks guys up in for strike 3 or goes in there with a cutter or something to keep them honest, and they can't put much on it.
One and two to Gonzalez, a former Chicago Cub farmhand. Really had no place to play with young Starlin Castro holding fourth at shortstop. So Gonzalez made his way to Houston, where he's got a chance to play every day, and he'll have a chance to sit down and admire the 5th Mahalam strikeout.
And even when he gets you thinking away, there's that one that starts off the plate and you give up on it. Dips in there for strike 3.
Beauty.
Strike one.
Sorry, that breaking ball, that's another example of those lanes that we talk about, where used to seeing that sinker starting out there and finishing on the plate, and then you see one out of his hand that's way off the plate. You think it's that sinker again, you give up, and oh, nope, it's a backdoor breaking ball.
Was it tough for you to pitch inside in the latter stages of your career, Tommy?
Yeah, because I never did much of it for the first 16 years of it.
And so what was the reason for the change?
Well, they changed the strike zone. I mean, with the coming of Questek, you know, when I came into the league, it was an east and west strike zone, very little up, very little below the knees. You expanded the plate east and west, and then with Questek it became on the plate, and you had to figure out how to use up and down, and you had to figure out how to get those 17 inches of the plate back, you know, and you do that by having to pitch inside more. So for me, it was just a matter of altering my game plan a little bit.
Liner into center. Francisco is aboard for the first time. Hits are now even at 2 apiece. Delta Airlines is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. Can't wait to see our flight crew on the Delta charter tomorrow evening when we head up to Philadelphia and then on to New York to play the Mets.
Zach Washington and Miami are all tied now. 3-3 in the third.
Mark Burley's had a couple of rough starts in a row, hasn't he?
Race put him in a funk.
Let's hope he snaps out of it with new life at Nationals Park for the first place Washington team. Here's Wallace. He struck out to start the second. That's rifled into center. Michael Bourne is there, however, makes the play. Francisco has to retreat and gets back to first safely.
Wallace hit that one right on the button. Nice to have a guy out there like Michael who can track it down. Just make it look like a routine out.
Justin Maxwell has one of the 2 Houston hits that came in the second. He also stole a base and was left stranded by Martinez and Downs.
Just a couple of years ago, this guy, when we went into Washington, he was thought of as their #1 position player prospect. Center fielder, could go get him. Long, rangy guy. Some pop in his bat. And then he suffered an injury, and I'm not sure he ever was able to return to the level they expected.
That ball's launched deep left, and it is 2-0 Houston. The 11th home run for Maxwell, and that was a no-doubter.
A little too much of the plate.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a cutter that didn't cut or a fastball that he just didn't get in far enough. That was a good swing right there.
They got him on waivers from the Yankees.
That is fair past Chipper. J.D. Martinez has an extra base hit. So a homer and a double with 2 outs in the Astros 4th inning.
No stride, just kind of waited on the pitch to get to him before he turned on it. And the 2 runs this inning, the most Mahalam's allowed in any start in his last 8.
Matt Downs flied to left and flied to deep left. He's 0 for 1. And a quick strike. Houston's lost its last 6 consecutive games in this ballpark. In fact, their last win at Turner Field was May 3rd, 2009. And a fly ball to left. Playable for Martin Prado, and that retires the side. Justin Maxwell hit a no-doubt homer. He's 2 for 2. And the Astros have drawn first blood. They're up 2-0. Here in the home half of the 4th inning. And all season long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, and Chip Carey tonight. Lucas Harrell has been staked to an early lead on the Justin Maxwell 2-run homer. And the Braves red hot, winners of 19 of their last 25 games. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Middle of the order really doing a number. And they need to do one again tonight after the 2-run homer by Maxwell.
The inning starts with Chipper Jones, then Freddie Freeman, then Brian McCann. Chipper's closing in on 2,700 major league hits. He's 10 away from that mark. He's 9 away from that mark. Leadoff single in the 4th.
He didn't hit this ball that hard. He certainly hit it with some authority, but he put a lot of top spin on it. And there's no way Altuve, even on a 3-hopper there, could even come close to it, because that ball was scooting through the infield.
Freddie Freeman lined out to left his first time. Let's see if the second time through the order is more favorable for the Braves offense. Freddie has 10 hits on the homestand in 26 at bats. And is ahead 2-0.
Chris Snyder's a veteran catcher back there tonight for the Astros, and it appears to me that one of his jobs might be to just get Harold to slow down a little bit. He's trying to be deliberate in his signs so that he's not working at a frantic pace.
Chipper's talked about that too, fellas. Early in your career, the game's going a million miles an hour, then it slows down. And then toward the end of your career, it really speeds up again. It applies for hitters. I guess it applies for pitchers too.
Definitely for pitchers. I think that's the mistake that so many young pitchers make, is when they start getting into trouble, they don't have the ability to slow things down.
That was a good pitch, 2-2.
That high breaking ball call again. That looked like a hanging cutter.
Tried it again, didn't get the call. Full count. Chipper's running. And a ground ball right side. Altuve will have only one play. It's to first. Braves stay out of a double play, and Ryan McCann represents the tying run with one out.
The Astros last night 0 for 7 with men in scoring position, which is a continuation of their struggles in that department this year. Braves were only 2 for 13 and 0 for 1 tonight.
Strike one to Brian McCann. Brian struck out to start the Braves' second.
Another good thing for a hitter when you slow things down a little bit and take a few pitches, get better counts, is that you don't swing at as many bad pitches. And I think that's helped Brian in his good stretch as much as anything. He's made his mechanical adjustments And because he's had a little success, then you're in no hurry to swing at the very first pitch if it's not something you were looking for or guessing. And by being relaxed and calm and wait for a good pitch, you get more success.
Good count to hit. 3 balls and a strike.
Three-one changeup from this guy. And he is a rookie. He came in having thrown more innings than any other rookie in the National League at 127 1/3. And he's the only rookie with a complete game shutout. That came against the Padres June 27th, a 6-hitter.
Is Brian swinging a maple bat?
Looks like it. Big silver M on the bat.
Been swinging the ash bat for most of this homestand. And he will walk with 1 out. Second free pass issued by Harrell, and now Dan Uggla's coming up. We've said it a lot this homestand. Sooner or later, some pitcher's going to pay. This would be a great spot for Dan to unload and turn this game into the Braves' favor.
Well, we talked about how Mulholland doesn't give up many home runs, and he gave one up. This kid doesn't give up many either, so maybe it'll be one of those nights. Maybe he'll elevate that sinker a little bit or hang that cutter.
Double play ball. Gonzalez to Altuve, and first in time retires the side. The Braves threaten, fail to score in the 4th, and we head to the 5th inning down 2-0 to Lucas Harrell and the Astros. Justin Maxwell has hit a homer to account for all of tonight's scoring. And it's time for our McDonald's Fans of the Game.
How about this sign? She picked our honeymoon at Turner Field. I'm one lucky man. So as a result, you are the fan of the game from McDonald's.
Good crowd here tonight. Paul Mahala making his Braves debuts. Pitched a pretty good game. He struck out 5. He's scattered 4 hits. But Maxwell has 2 of them, and one of those hits left the park deep to left. And a strike to Chris Snyder, the catcher. 8-9-1 up for Houston here in the 5th. Chipper at third, had Snyder played perfectly. 1 out. Here's Harrell. He struck out his first and only time up. Much has been made, fellas, about this Houston ball club and their real bad season. 35-72. They're only 10-45 on the road. And they've got a chance at a record no club would want. Fewest ever is 17 road wins in a full season. And amazingly, they've been outscored by 142 runs away from Minute Maid Park. 142 run differential in 55 games.
All I know is they've outscored the Braves 2-0 tonight. That's what concerns me.
Arrows down swinging. Holland has 6 strikeouts tonight. And 17's the record in a 162 game schedule as far as the fewest road wins. So Brad Mills and his squad has some work to do. As do the Braves tonight. Here's Altuve. Mahalam's walked him twice. He's also picked him off. Giannis sliding stop. Pretty play. And 3 up, 3 down. That man's pretty smooth at short. 7 pitches for Mahalam in the 5th inning. Braves bats go to work. Down 2-zip. Royal. In part by Crown Royal, by Checkers, by Toyota, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Paul Janish is ready to go for the Braves in the 5th inning. Janish, Mahalam, and Michael Bourne. Broken bat. Downs finds the baseball and retires Janish on the inning's first pitch. The Braves are excited to bring legendary Southern Rockers Leonard Skinner to Turner Field for a free post-game concert after the Saturday, September 1st game against the Phillies. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. Slow roller toward first, and Wallace has that. 2 outs on 3 pitches. We'll go back to the top of the order and Michael Bourne. Michael's a former Astro, and they've done real good work against him at the plate. Michael's 1 for 18 against Houston pitching. And 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, he's gone into a little bit of a dry spell overall here recently. He's 5 for his last 32. And the best asset a guy like Michael has to avoid any long-term slumps like that is the ability to bunt for a base hit.
Two balls and a strike.
He's averaged down under 290 for the first time in a long time.
First time since Noodles Hahn was pitching in the major leagues, maybe.
That's going way back. It's been a long time.
Now back to the screen. Still 2-2.
We had a picture of Noodles a minute ago. I don't know if we still have it. Check him out. Noodles Hahn.
Pretty dapper in that jacket,
I'll say.
33 game winner back in 1901. And Michael Bourne is down on strikes. Lucas Harrell, a free spirit, is free and easy so far through 5. He leads the Braves 2-0. And back to the AT&T U-verse trivia question. Michael Bourne stole 61 bases in 2009. That was the third highest total for a season in Astros history. Who has their record for the most stolen bases in a campaign?
This is why I wanted to look at the book, because I don't know. I want to say there was a Young that played the outfield, center field, and I want to say Eric Young, but I don't think it's Eric Young. Was there Gerald? Was it Gerald Young? Or
might have been, yeah.
That's what I'm going with. So maybe I'll only get half credit if I don't get it right, but I'm not 100% sure of his first name.
Ground ball toward Giannis. Tricky hop. Throws on the run. Gets Gonzalez for the first out.
I'm going to go with Biggio. I'm going to go off Cedeno and
You're
go
taking
Biggio.
my answer?
Yep.
I'll take Joe Morgan then. And the answer is...
Hey!
Way to go, Tommy G.
The only reason I remember that is because I played against him in the minor leagues. I remember the things you remember for whatever reasons you remember. I remember playing against him. At the time, the Astros were in Columbus, Georgia, and from being from the Northeast, I thought, oh my God, this is the hottest place on the planet.
They've got another speedster in their system, Delano DeShields Jr. Going into play yesterday, he had stolen 77 bases in the low minor leagues. He was a #1 pick. And I'm sure the Astros are hoping he'll be a big part of their future in the next couple of seasons.
You had an Eric part right, though.
Did I?
Yeah. Second on their list is Eric Yelding.
Eric Yelding. Okay. So
remember him?
Yep.
And then Bourne and Cedeno were tied. And Cedeno and Cedeno and Cedeno and Cedeno. 6 straight years Cedeno stole 50 or more.
Kind of had to play that way in the old dome, didn't you? Weren't going to live with too many homers in that place.
He was such a great player, Cesar Cedeno.
No, that old ballpark was that was the epitome of don't walk anybody. 2-0, just throw it belt high and see if they could hit it out of there.
That's why I think when you look at Francisco take a call, 3rd strike, giving Mahalam 7. You look at Jeff Bagwell's numbers, and he'll be debated for Cooperstown. How many home runs did he lose by playing in that ballpark in his early days as an Astro?
Quite a few. You could get it out of there if you pulled the ball, but gap to gap, you better get every bit of it, and even then you still might not get it out of there.
Don Sutton pitched there for a time in his career, and he said he tried to throw high fastballs in there and let guys try to hit it to center field. Swing as hard as you want, boys.
Well, Jim DeShays more recently made a living there doing that.
Can't do it in their new home, though, can you?
No. Well, you can if you keep it in center field.
Yeah. But if you miss, you'll get somebody hurt in the Crawford boxes. 0-2 to Brett Wallace. A little crossfire action missed off the plate. Swing and a miss. Paul Mahalam's dealing, folks. That's 8 strikeouts, and that's 7 straight hitters retired. Next inning, the Astros have scored first. They lead 2-0. And here's what's up next for the Braves. Our Jameson in upcoming schedule.
Bud Norris and Chris Medlin round out the long homestand tomorrow, and then on the road to Philadelphia. These starters for Philadelphia are tentative. Don't have that etched in stone yet. Worley, Hamels, and Kendrick. Sheets, Minor, and Hudson for the Braves, and the Braves have won 6 straight from the Phillies this year. Sweep in Philly and a sweep here.
And a prominent fixture in that Philly offense won't be playing. Carlos Ruiz put on the disabled list today. A partial tear with plantar fasciitis. That's Jason Hayward, our Delta Airlines on deck batter.
And regardless of the kind of year they're having, anytime you can go into a 3-game series and miss Halladay and Lee, that's not a bad setup.
Meanwhile, Lucas Harrell's pitched a very impressive game, much like he's done all year long. He came in 8-7. This is his 22nd start. And Gonzalez at short. Flips to first for the first out.
He's done this all year long, Chip, at home, but his best work has been in their home ballpark. Road starts have not been kind to him. Look at that. 2-6 with a 5.71. And I was surprised to see that he's allowed 10 home runs this year, 7 on the road. You'd think it'd be the other way around in their ballpark.
Again, what a find. I mean, kid that can throw 94 and get the ball on the ground, they got for nothing. And might turn out to be a fixture in the rotation for the next several years if he can stay healthy.
Well, either he wasn't doing this before, or somebody back where he came from is saying, we didn't see this when we had him.
He was a 4th round pick in 2004. Worked his way to the big leagues, and then for whatever reason the White Sox last year put him on waivers in July.
Downstairs, 3-1.
That's not his A1 4-seamer, but that's been his most effective fastball tonight. 2-seamer that kind of runs away.
Like that. 5 strikeouts for Harrell, 2 quick outs in the 6th.
That's just a good pitcher's pitch right there. That pitch might have run a touch off the plate when it was done, but stayed on in the strike zone for a long time to Jason Hayward, and then just tailed off at the end and couldn't square it up.
And when you're around the plate, you get the benefit of the call like that. Chipper didn't like it and is down the strike. Braves had 2 on with 2 outs in the first. Freddie Freeman lined out to end that threat. They got a 2-out single in the third. They had first and second, 1 out in the fourth. Dan Uggla getting to a double play. Those are your offensive threats so far tonight for the Braves.
His season high in strikeouts is 9. He's done it twice. Once against Cleveland in a loss, and once in a no decision against Pittsburgh when only 5 innings.
As we were talking about, he had 3 fly ball outs in the first 2 innings, and everything since then has been a ground out or a strikeout. So he's got that sinker ball working.
The tying run comes to the plate again in the form of Freddie Freeman. Chipper's walked twice, and he'll stand at first base.
Another case where Snyder went out to talk to him and didn't jog back. He walked very slowly back to the plate.
Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. Harrell with 92 pitches unofficially. This is high, ball 2.
121 has been his high this year. That was a couple starts ago against Cincinnati.
You would think Brad Mills will ride him as long as he possibly can to stay out of that Houston pen, which has been a huge problem for them this year. The Astros bullpen has lost 23 games this year. They've allowed 352 hits, 113 walks, and 308 innings.
It's a lot of base runners.
But they might start stirring with a 3-1 count. 2 walks in a row with 2 outs and 4 for the game. The bullpen will get busy as we enjoy our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
And the tools from the dugout tonight for Brian McCann are a switch back to a maple bat, something he has not been using lately. And for whatever reason, he's got one in his hands now. McCann got into a good pitch count, or hitters count rather, last time up before drawing a walk. Was very patient. And the way this guy's going, you need him to help you out a little bit, and he's trying.
That's another mistake you see a lot of guys make, particularly young guys. You know, you start the inning, you go out of the dugout, and you're thinking, okay, here's what I got coming up. I get 2 outs and have Chipper coming up with 2 outs and nobody on. I've managed the inning well, which he did, but unfortunately for him, there's 3 outs in the inning, and now you got Chipper in there with 2 outs and nobody on, and nibbled around with him, and then next thing you know, you got the tying run at the plate and wasn't able to get Freddie.
And a called strike. Lay called 0-2.
I don't think it was that bad a pitch. It was just a late call.
Yeah, it took an extended look at it.
Again, Houston with that modified defense for Brian. The outfield's very deep, and they play him to pull. Altuve, you see the rover in shallow right.
I think Chris Snyder's done a really good job with this young pitcher tonight. And he's at his best here when the kid's in his most trouble.
So this will be the 100th pitch of the game. And McCann's worked an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, took a shot with the high fastball right there. See if he tries to get Brian to chase something down or down out of the zone now.
He did. Now the advantage for the Braves. Chipper and Freddie can run with a 3-2 count.
They just don't get picked off.
Oh, with 2 outs and nobody on, he threw Michael Bourne a 3-2 changeup for strike 3. He had the courage to throw it in that situation. You'd think he'd have the courage to throw it here.
Go. And ground ball foul.
Throwing a fastball.
Yeah, I think he might be more concerned about issuing a 3rd straight walk and being out of the ball game. So whatever he feels most confident throwing a strike with right now is what he's going to use, no matter what Snyder puts down.
Chipper at second, Freeman at first. 3-2 to McCann. Just missed a double. He'll do it again.
Well, not only is Altuve playing out in shallow right, but Brent Wallace is, as the pitch is being made, he's cheating over near the line a little bit too, trying to take that away.
Another walk. Brad Mills pondering his options. Last night, Armando Galarraga walked 7. Tonight, Harrell's walked 5. And the Braves have the bases loaded for Dan Uggla. He takes a strike. For all the raving we've done about Freddie Freeman and his ability to drive in 2-out runs, Dan's second on the team in 2-out RBIs this year with 29. Line down the left field line and foul. 0-2. He just missed.
I thought it might stay fair, but a little too much hook on it. And now he's got a battle behind 0-2.
Harrell thought he struck him out. 1-2.
Generally speaking, Dan's a good high fastball hitter, but lately he hasn't been able to catch up to that pitch for whatever reasons that he's battling right now. That guy went upstairs with a fastball, Harrell, but just missed getting the call.
This kid's had an impressive night, and personally I like the fact that his manager's letting him stay in the game and learn how to pitch out of trouble.
Well, this is how you learn how to do it. As much as you're trying to win ball games, you're also trying to build some things for the future, and the only way you learn how to pitch in these situations is to be left in there to pitch, not only from the standpoint of what the situation is, but from the standpoint of how many pitches he's thrown. He's tired, he's been working hard, and you got to learn how to get guys out when you're tired and you've been working hard.
Line drive, base hit. The game is tied at 2. Dan Uggla with a big 2-out hit.
And on a 1-2 count, too. That's what I loved about it. Fought it off, dumped it in there. 34th pitch of the inning. Dan ties it up.
And now Giannis could put the Braves ahead. And he takes a strike. All of this with 2 outs, 3 walks in a row, and then a hit on a 1-2 count. New life for Atlanta.
Last night, Dan got that double that was lost in the twilight. And it's hits like that and hits like the one tonight where you think, okay, that's what he needed to get going again. You know, fight one off. Just dump one in there for a big hit. That's a huge pick-me-up for a guy that's struggling.
I think his last 4 hits have knocked in at least 1 run.
Well, you know, he's got a 4-game hitting streak.
And it's
August.
McCann at second represents the go-ahead run. 2 balls and a strike. Another broken bat. And the throw to first retires Paul Janisch. Dan Uggla now with 31 2-out RBIs. And a 1-2 count turns to gold for Atlanta. 2-2 as we head to the 7th.
Hard blast. That belongs to this man. Jason Maxwell back in the 4th inning with 2 out and a runner aboard. That's something right out over the plate and a no-doubter to left field for his 11th homer of the year. That put the Astros on top 2-0, but Dan Uggla just tied it up with a 2-run single in the bottom of the 6th.
Mahalem's been dazzling tonight. He's retired 7 straight, a season high 8 strikeouts. And Dan Uggla's gotten him back in the game. 2-2 your score, and a long fly ball foul to the right side by Maxwell.
That reminds me a little bit of Derek Bell.
One of the killer bees with Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio. And another high fly ball is belted deep left and long gone. Wow. Justin Maxwell has solved Paul Mahalem. 2 homers, 3 hits, and the Astros are back in front.
Wowie. Little loopy hanging curve there. This guy is bigger than he looks. He looks slender, kind of lean, but he's 6'5", 235. A little Jason Hayward-like.
I wouldn't have guessed he was that heavy.
Second career multi-homer game for Maxwell, and just like that, the Astros are back in front. Here's J.D. Martinez. He's doubled in 2 trips. To short. Janisch. 1 out.
in their bios, it usually gives a list of career bests and streaks. And for Dustin Maxwell, his career high in RBIs is 4, and he's done it 3 times coming into this season. And the last time was at Turner Field in September of 2010.
A bunt attempt, and it's a beauty. Matt Downs will reach.
He took a peek at Chipper when he got in the batter's box. Saw Chipper back and figured I'll take a shot at it, and did what he had to do, just put it just far enough out of the reach of Mahalam where he couldn't make a play on it.
So here's Chris Snyder, the catcher. He has struck out and he's grounded out. Mahalam's spot is due first when the Braves come up in the bottom of the inning. And we should see a double play. And we do. Leadoff homer, though, by Mr. Maxwell. He's 3 for 3. 2 homers. And another long blast has put Houston back in front by a run. To the last of the 7th inning, Paul Mahalam made his Braves debut tonight. That's part of our Crown Royal game summary.
Justin Maxwell is the guy that's done the damage tonight, though, with 2 swings of the bat, 2 home runs to account for all 3 Houston runs, and they lead it. New pitcher Fernando Rodriguez makes his 48th appearance. A very high ERA, but it's a little bit better since the All-Star break. It's at 4 even since the All-Star break, and he's right at a strikeout per inning pitched. Last worked 3 days ago at Milwaukee and gave up a home run to Ryan Braun.
He's a Texan out of El Paso. Was originally an 18th round pick by the Los Angeles Angels back in 2003. The Astros signed him as a minor league free agent in 2010. 47 games last year with Houston. And he will face Eric Hinsky, who's grabbed a bat and will hit for Paul Mahalam. Paul goes 7 innings, gives up 3 runs, 2 homers, both to Maxwell. Struck out a season high 8 and walked a couple of batters. So Hinsky will start it, then the top of the Braves order against Fernando Rodriguez.
Bigger shift on for Hinsky than for McCann. They do have the shortstop over on the first base side of second, as you see.
High fly ball to right, but he got under it. Francisco is there. 1 out. I think the Braves are happy to have Lucas Harrell out of the ball game, even with his control difficulties. Now we're in this Astros bullpen that, as I said, has lost 23 of their 72 games this year. And there you see where they rank in Major League Baseball among relievers. Here's Michael, 0 for 3 tonight.
After they traded Brett Myers, really didn't leave him with anybody that has finished games too often except Cordero, who they got in a trade, and he's now on the DL. So the only guy active in their bullpen right now with a save is Xavier Cedeno, who has 1.
Two balls and a strike. High fly to left, but that's playable for J.D. Martinez. Michael Bourne's 0 for 4 tonight, and 2 are away in the 7th inning. Martinez single in 3 trips. That was back in the 3rd inning. Guerin is up in the Braves pen. Looks like he'll be the next man to pitch. 9 o'clock in the East. Houston led 2-0 on a Justin Maxwell homer. Dan Uggla tied the game with a 2-strike, 2-out hit in the 6th. And Maxwell another homer in the 7th. That's where we stand now. 3-2 your score. Middle game of our 3-game weekend series. Up over by the Braves on deck circle, and Snyder will have a play, and he will make it. Prado slams his bat, breaks it, and that retires the side in the 7th. 3-2 as we head to the 8th.
Light freeze cam and the cold train. Nothing cold about these. These were hot coming off the bat of Justin Maxwell. A couple of homers tonight. 2-run shot in the 4th and that one in the 7th after the Braves had tied it up. A long shot into the terrace level. Point of contact well out in front. Great leverage. Good extension. A couple of mistakes. Maybe the only 2 mistakes Paul really made all night. That was the Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So Paul Maholm departs after 7 innings of 6-hit 3-run baseball. Corey Guerin will answer the AT&T call to the bullpen. And fellas, Corey's pitched very, very well and a lot more velocity than we've seen from him in outings past.
This will be his 6th outing, 1-0 or 0-0 on the year. Pitched a couple times in the Miami series, or 3 times in the Miami series. Pitched well. 4 innings in that series. Gave up a couple hits and 4 strikeouts over those outings. So certainly threw the ball well against Miami, and we'll look to continue that here against Houston.
And Jordan Schaefer, who pinch hits for Fernando Rodriguez. Jordan was 1 for 4 last night. And has really struggled with that batting average, hitting .219. His on base percentage at .308. He was their leadoff man early this season. Dropped to 8th in the batting order last night. And very late 0-2.
Doubled up on the changeup, but couldn't get Schaefer to go after that one. 90, 91, 92 fastball and 83 changeup. Good difference. 3 in a row.
.301 at bats for Schaefer this year, 101 strikeouts.
Well, he obviously needs to cut that down, but that's been a problem for him over his career.
That ball centered and driven toward Michael Bourne. Ball out. Jordan's hit the ball up the middle just about every time up in the series. But he's the first out of the 8th inning. Now to the top of the order we go. Pair of walks and a ground out to short for Jose Altuve. He entered play tonight with a 7-game hit streak on the line. One-run game here in Atlanta, 1-run game in Washington. Marlins 5, Nationals 4. That game now in the 7th inning.
Adam LaRoche has hit 2 homers in that game. He's been on fire.
He has. The Braves are 2 behind Washington. Picked up a half game last night with Atlanta's win and the Nationals splitting their doubleheader with Miami. Two and one. Upstairs, 3-1. Whoa, up and in. That almost hit Altuve. And he's aboard with his third walk of the night.
And one of the keys for Corey since he came back is the fact that he hasn't walked anybody until now. 4 innings coming into this outing with no walks and 4 strikeouts.
And again, a fast runner at first. Altuve 19 for 25 in stolen base attempts this season. And Marwin Gonzalez will bat from the left side, which is his strong side. He's 0 for 3 in the game. He's a called strike. Line into right center field. That'll get down. Michael Bourne will cut it off, but not before Altuve reaches third base. And Houston in business. Runners first and third with 1 out.
Nice play by Bourne to get over there and make sure that ball didn't get through. If it does, it's another run.
Atlanta's turned a couple of double plays tonight. Corey could use a ground ball in this 8th inning.
Francisco hit into one of them. I beg your pardon, it was Gonzalez that did.
Two strikeouts, a single, and a run for the former Philly, now playing right field in Houston. And here's Avilan and Chad Durbin begin to loosen. Maxwell lurking in this inning too.
Got to hold them right here. Down 1. A little easier to manufacture that 1 tying run if you need to, as opposed to 2.
He's missed in twice with his fastball and come back with the breaking ball away for a strike. See if he goes back there for the strikeout. Or
he did go away, and Francisco is struck out.
Good call and a good pitch.
So Guerin retires 2 of the first 4 batters he sees. He allows a hit, a walk. He does strike out Francisco. Freddie Gonzalez takes the ball from him. And Brett Wallace, the Houston first baseman, the next Astro coming up. Louis Avalon will grab the baseball and try to end the 8th inning. Two in the 8th inning, 2 on, 2 out. And Freddie Gonzalez makes the AT&T call to the bullpen fellas and sets up a lefty-lefty matchup with Brett Wallace.
Luis Avalon's done a good job. Last couple of outings, he's given up some hits, gave up one unearned run to the Marlins on the 30th. But he's come in throwing strikes for the most part.
Wallace has struck out twice in 3 trips. That was against Braves starter Paul Maholm. And he missed high, 1 ball, no strikes. Altuve walked, Gonzalez singled. There at the corners in this Houston 8th. And a high fly to left. Martin turns the wrong way. Slowing now on the track. Makes the catch. And that retires the side. Houston strands a pair in the 8th inning. 3-4-5 coming up for the Braves. Down a run to Houston. Down a run, 3-2. Well, The game was briefly tied, and that was our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
After 3 straight walks, Dan Uggla came up with 2 outs and tied the game up back in the 6th inning.
So Atlanta with a whole bunch of lefties coming up have to face a man that eats them alive. Wesley Wright is on for the 2nd time in the series and for the 53rd time this year.
Worked an inning and a third last night. Gave up no hits, but did walk a batter, struck out 1.
Ryan Bogusevic checks in to play right. Francisco's out of the game. And Jason Hayward starts things off. Jason doubled in the 1st inning, has grounded out and struck out since. Last time Houston won a game in this ballpark was August of 2009. Wesley Wright is the only Astro still playing for them that was here when that happened. Their pitching coach Doug Brocail was also here, but he's not an active player.
Yeah, he's not playing anymore.
Play foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Be nice to get that leadoff man on. Put a little pressure on their defense. Jason, in the last almost 2 weeks, doing great work against lefties.
Ooh, full count.
And a lot of Jason's damage is to left center and left field against the lefties. They're playing him to pull.
High pop, shallow left center field. Martinez comes in and JD puts it away. Hayward's retired for out number 1. Here's Chipper. Chipper's walked twice, singled once, and has scored a run. Liner into center. Right at Maxwell. 2 outs. 6 straight Braves have been retired by the Astros staff. And here's Freddie Freeman with 2 outs. Freddie too with great work against lefties in the last month.
Guy must be really hard to pick up, in that he's got a good off-speed pitch, which that was, and that's going to fool some hitters. But even with his fastball, it's kind of a crossfire fastball that's hard to see like that.
And Wesley Wright carves through the Atlanta heart of the order in 1-2-3 fashion. We head to the ninth. Houston still leads by a run.
For tonight's Toyota play of the game, and it actually came way back in the first inning. Runner at first and one out. Nice backhanded stop by Chipper right by the bag at third base, and it's an around the horn double play. Good stop by Chipper and a good turn by Ugla.
And the Braves need another good inning of relief, this time from Chad Durbin, who answers the AT&T call. Let's see if he can solve Justin Maxwell, who's done all the damage for Houston tonight. 3 for 3 with 2 mammoth home runs to left.
Just hold him right there.
We'll see if Wesley Wright continues for Houston in inning number 9. Kind of hope they take him out.
Exactly, and the way he's going, it's hard. It'd be hard for them to take him out, but he's had a lot of work.
Big night for Maxwell. And a base hit past Freddie Freeman. He's 4 for 4. What a night. He didn't really waste any time in any of the at-bats.
And with a shift on, he decided he'd go the other way.
4 hits on 8 pitches tonight. A career night for the Astros outfielder Justin Maxwell. Now JD Martinez hits. Martinez doubled in between flyouts and groundouts. He's 1 for 3 and 2 for 7 in the series. Got to keep an eye on Maxwell. He's already stolen a base tonight too. That's 3 for the season. And a strike evens the count. Close at first, and he just got back.
Just barely. went into that hand push into the bag a little early because it slowed him down.
Braves have 3 outs left. They're down a run. And Houston this year, fellas, has lost 5 games when they've led after 8. So you do have hope.
And they're only 10-20 in 1-run games.
In the air, shallow right. Hayward's coming on, makes the grab. Thought about throwing back to first. But Maxwell back in safely with 1 out.
Some good flat out closing speed right here. It looked like that ball might actually sink in there for a hit. Jason wisely held onto the baseball, didn't have a play at first.
It's fun watching your reactions. Joe, the former outfielder, knew Hayward had it the whole time. Tom was just kind of throwing his hands up like, oh, great, a bloop hit.
Yeah, I thought off the bat that was a bloop, but Joe's right. He closed on that ball in a hurry.
Here's Matt Downs. Downs had a bunt single in the 7th. That was erased on a Snyder double play ball. Again, close at first.
Well, the scouting report must be that he doesn't bunt, because even though he bunted earlier and got a base hit, Chipper's still not believing him.
That one will fall in front of Hayward in right field. And Maxwell stops at second. First and second, 1 away. Here's the catcher, Chris Snyder. Ground ball would be nice.
Real nice.
Up and in, ball 1.
For the Astros, that's a big run at second base. They can get him around. As you have said, Chip, their bullpen not very good at protecting leads, and they'd feel a little safer if they had a 2-run lead.
Looks like Wesley Wright's not going to pitch the 9th inning. It's Wilton Lopez loosening.
The Braves have Brian McCann leading off the 9th. They might leave Wesley in to pitch to him.
Ground ball, shortstop. Second for 1. Double play ends the inning. That's why a ground ball would be nice. Houston's hit to 3 double plays. The Braves need 1 to tie, 2 to win in the bottom of the 9th inning. indeed, Brian McCann will lead things off. And Wesley Wright is out on the mound for the Astros still.
McCann faced him last night, hit into a double play. But it was a 4-6-3 double play, and if they put that shift on for him, it might be a base hit by the time they get to the ground ball. Always good to get that leadoff man on. You trail by 1 in the 9th.
McCann has walked twice, struck out once. Now Houston will shift. They'll have 3 defenders on the right side of the diamond. Marwin Gonzalez joins Altuve, and Brett Wallace, who's right on top of the first base line. And a called strike.
Maybe Brian got caught looking for something other than a fastball the first 2.
Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ugla, Giannis, and then the pitcher spot will follow. One out.
It's the same pitch he struck out Freddie Freeman on to end the 8th inning. It's not a fastball. It's more like a cutter because it's not his big sweeping slider.
Yeah, it's like it just takes a little bit off velocity wise, and it's like a little cutter. Shortens the slider into a little bit of a cutter.
That guy's having a great year, and he is anchoring this Houston bullpen. He gets Brian McCann. 2 outs in the 9th. Braves trail by 1. Relief with 2 strikeouts as he's helped protect this Houston lead to this point. Base is empty with 1 out as Wilton Lopez is on to try to finish things up, something, fellas, he has had very little success at doing.
1 for 11 in his career in save opportunities. Had some elbow trouble to put him on the DL between June 11th and July 8th. But he's a guy who throws strikes. The lowest walks per 9 inning ratio among any major league reliever.
You'll have to earn your way on against this guy. Let's see if Uggla can do that. And a 2-run scoring single in the 6th tied this game 2-2. Home run cut. Strike one. Called strike. It's 0-2. Juan Francisco waits on deck. That hit him. Dan Uggla gets hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count. Wow.
You could hear it all the way up here. I'm not sure where it got him. Pretty obvious, though. Jersey. Take that. Especially in that count.
Not sure why he's even messing around in there.
How about a walk-off homer?
That'd be all right.
Juan's been swinging it of late. That's his season tally. He's 4 for his last 6 on the homestand. 2 homers, 8 RBIs in his last 9 games. And he wails away strike one. Four pinch hits for Francisco. One of them left the ballpark. Outfield very deep. Pop fly slicing toward the Houston dugout. It's 0-2.
Had a good cut at the first one. A little bit late on the last one.
Slow roller toward short. Gonzalez to Altuve. And the throw to first is in time. A double play. And the Astros have beaten the Braves tonight by a final score of 3-2. The Astros snap their 4-game losing streak and pick up their first win on the road since July 16th, when they beat San Diego by a 2-0 final score. 3-2 your final. We await the outcome of the Marlins and the Nationals. And we're back to Turner Field in a moment.